Showing the toad here for you guys as we get started. Bigchungus versus Felix Deep? Felix Diop? What do you guys think this is? Felix Deep?
Just call him Felix.
Felix it is. Alright, Felix in the top here in the yellow and Chungus in the green. Studios, what do you got for me here?
Man, these are some it's always a joy to watch beginner games for the spicy decks.
Oh yeah.
I call these Ferret Falcon.
My God.
Ferret Falcon board. Ferret Falcon is a good combination. Obviously, it's an old combination, but
yeah, it's refreshing because a lot of the Premier Intermediates have kind of collectively agreed for one reason or another to all play exactly the same thing. I'm being a little bit facetious here, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, all right, nobody play skunks, everybody play cams as a gentleman's agreement. Let's go.
Except for Lego Man, who will live or die by Skunk Snake.
Right. Obviously, there's plenty of exceptions, and I'm being silly, but beginners haven't even showed up to the meeting, let alone agreed.
Both players running ferrets, which is legendary. Both of them have MGs too, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah, ferret MG is. I'm gonna say.
I mean,
for
if
the
you
ferrets.
can use ferrets, if you can use ferrets right this patch, they're insane.
Oh yeah, ferrets are great.
I will say this map is awful. Their naturals are
so
far away.
This map is amazing. It's so wacky and so weird and so even. They both have a campfire as their natural.
Yeah,
but the campfires are so close to each other, and there's ferrets, so
and water between them both. And so this is just gonna be.
I hope this game goes long.
If this doesn't end up in a 15 squirrel fight, and they actually go to fires and expansions and ferrets, I think this is gonna be amazing.
I'd enjoy this map for Minecraft mod.
Well, listen to this. At least it's equal. If one of these players had a pocket expansion and the other had this, I would be like, no. But look at this. Felix taking the closest base that is also the furthest away base. So he can kind of cover it a little bit.
A little bit.
By just being able to see what's going on, I guess. And if he moves forward and takes this campfire. But it's technically a ninja, I would say, for now.
Yeah, for now. And it's even a very well-defended ninja.
For sure. Look, nothing's getting through that except for ferrets and a lot of commander reveal.
Yeah. Very much so.
So, Tatanka, you said if they don't just bust each other with a couple of squirrels early on, but what do you think Bigchungus could do right now? Felix has got this ninja. If you were Chungus...
If I was Chungus, I would be a very happy man. I mean, that depends on if he has seen the expansion or not.
I don't think he has.
I don't think he has.
The skunk push is gonna...
He's ahead on tech right now, which is good.
Yeah, he has more squirrels and a skunk.
Yeah, so you gotta lead with the skunk a little bit so it can tank mines and stuff, but
it gets pre-gas and tanking is great for the skunk in this fight.
The other issue is Felix is if he defends well, he's on double high ground, essentially.
Yeah, okay, but Chungus is setting up a weird contain. This is Little Choke, which is even better for skunks. And he's got some MGs now, which go well with Skunk Squirrel. Despite the fact that Felix has a bigger economy, long term, I love the spot that Chungus is in. Except there's ferrets, I guess.
Yeah, there's ferrets out now. I'm actually starting to like this for Felix more and more.
Yeah, those MGs are almost irrelevant, suddenly.
Yeah, because...
And also the fact that they both want to kind of defend by their MGs, and one side has ferrets. It's also a ninja base with farms on it.
Chungus is getting ferrets now, but he also farmed up this base that's a liability at this point, so he's gonna have to take a good fight.
He has to defend this base now, and he's losing...
Oh, he's losing so many squirrels.
He's losing this to the high ground, no less.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any air units. If Chungus had a flyer, like a pigeon or something...
I love the transition for Felix into Mass Falcon. It's great terrain for Mass Falcon. It's great against the diminishing number of squirrels.
Yeah. Now Chungus made a risky but respectable decision to sell the ferrets and go into Mass Squirrel. But that's pretty all in, right?
Oh yes.
Yeah, very very well can be.
He's gonna focus down the skunks with the ferrets. And now he's just ahead.
He's ahead, but Felix has got all his money tied into a Mass Falcon transition that's not completed yet. So Chungus could attack right now and just
19
win.
19 squirrels out right now.
Yeah.
He needs to go right now.
Many squirrels.
He needs to go right fucking now.
Yes, Chungus needs to attack now, otherwise I think Felix gets it with his two extra farms here.
He can definitely attack and win right now. Even though the ferrets are gonna start acting like AoE. No, he needs he needs to just...
He can't base trade either because Felix has a base he doesn't know about.
He's gonna try to flank, but he's gonna lose all these warns.
Yeah.
All the warns. So
if he can wipe this army, he might actually.
He's gonna catch him out.
Yeah, he needs to actually commit and win because he doesn't have any warrants left.
Or any eco.
So
it is the
mileage.
6-minute mark.
He needs to win. He needs to win right now.
Go. Yes.
Right now.
Go, go, go.
Just go.
We believe in you, Chungus.
Right
no,
now.
Chungus, no.
It's scary attacking into a double high ground with an MG, but like you got to be more decisive in a situation like this. Does he?
Because
still...
if he gets on the warrants, all of a sudden he wins.
Exactly. Exactly. And his skunk could actually sit on this high ground and shell Felix's expansion too. It's funny.
Not over.
It's not completely over.
It's gonna expand.
But he's gonna have to win again right now in the next fight. Like he's gonna have to commit.
The one thing that Felix has going for him, or sorry, that Chungus has going for him against Felix's comp is that Falcons are not very good by themselves, actually. Like, they need to have tanks, so Mass Squirrel of Chungus could still beat the Falcons of Felix. Like, right here, he's going to be able to gun down a couple Falcons first. He's got to focus
the Falcons. If the Falcons are killed first, that's a huge deal. And most of them are. But then they retreat. Which is fine.
That was fine, yeah. That was alright for Chungus. I think he needs to really just target those Falcons down. But...
The issue...
Oh, this is tough.
It's tough. He's only on a campfire that's about to fallow.
And that... He's going to
starve. Try to flank. No, this is a better flank.
This is a better flank.
He's going to be able to catch these units out.
Yeah, it's too little too late. I think he finally sees the expansion, the ninja here, but there's still... Felix never sold that defense line, so Chungus is going to starve out here in a second. He no longer has the squirrel count he needs.
Yeah, he needs to go into Mass Squirrel at this point and just go.
He could grab this ninja over here to try to survive the starve, but he doesn't have enough squirrels anymore to really...
Yeah, no, the squirrel count's pretty close.
And this is a really unfortunate number of food to be stuck on. 59 food when you're trying to not starve. He's going to have to sell one of his warrens for just one piece of food. And he taps.
Oh my gosh. No.
Or did he starve?
He died no. He died as soon as, he couldn't get the other mill up.
Oh, he actually died the usual way of losing mills. Dang. There was like 3 different lose conditions happening almost at the same time. For Chungus.
That's rough.
Yeah. Take your guess. Take your pick. Is he gonna starve? Is he gonna get destroyed? Or is he gonna concede?
Right. Or all 3 at once. Alright, that was a really good game on a really interesting map, and it was really close, honestly. I think Chungus almost had it. But that initial ninja for Felix really paying out in the end. I'm gonna...
No, what I really want to see from this next game is someone going Boar Fox. Because Boar Fox is a hell of a combination that I really want to see people use.
To be honest, Tatanka, unless somebody has been listening to you or other Premier players, if I see Boar Fox in beginner, I'm gonna say that they're smurfing. Because, like, it's such a specific combination that is so popular in Premier, but, like, nobody thinks of it early on. Like, I'm too scared to use it, and I'm intermediate.
It's so great. You rely on Boar Fox for your entire army. Like, you have no army except a tier 1 and Boar Fox. So great.
I think the only player that would be like, all right, they're playing Boar Fox. Okay, yeah, he's been playing with Tatanka for a while. The only player you could say that with probably is me.
Yeah, but you're intermediate.
Yeah, exactly.
Show the toad, Tandor. Show the fucking toad.
Show the toad!
Alright, I'm gonna catch up on chat here too. So what do we got?
Chat has a gun to your head saying, show the toad.
Worst of all, worst out of the meta unit. Worst out of meta unit? I would say...
Wire.
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 Yeah.
Wire. Barbed wire.
Barbed wire, 100%.
It's pretty trash.
Yeah.
It's partly because you don't need it to be defensive. Like, you can... The role that wire would do is something that's unnecessary right now, but also
It's fulfilled
moles
by
and
mine.
cams are, like, meta, kinda, and both of those are good against wire, so...
Cams are very meta. Moles are strong.
I would
Yes.
say that there are many ways it is worse than any other structure, which is like mines are just better and more unpredictable, and makes your opponent play
And mines are more
overly
flexible.
cautiously.
Yeah, yeah. And to be honest,
more
toads
flexible.
are better at being wire than wire is.
Oh yes, just make some toads. Also, you could just make an MG.
Yeah. Yep.
If you really want.
Now, there are a couple of situations where someone could say wire isn't completely garbage. Like, this game is relatively well balanced. There's not, like, don't bother ever making it, but, like, wire is pretty bad. I would say the other two bad units that are out of meta for a reason are Snakes and Artie. And those are good in certain situations, so that's not the same as the wire, but...
Just very situational.
Yeah. Alright, here we go.
Alrighty.
Bigchungus.
Oh, they're splitting the boar fox.
Hell yeah, there we go. Bigchungus up here with the fox half of the boar fox. And Felix on match point. One more game and he's got it going to the playoffs, because this is the winner's match, with the boar half, the boar fox. Both sides with squirrel, ferret, turret again. God, that's a thing.
Yeah.
That is a thing.
It's a lot of micro and decision making is what it is. It scares me just thinking about it.
Yeah, I just realized, Felix hasn't changed his comp at all. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Where Chungus, I believe he...
So there's two different
What's
philosophies when it comes to when you're newer at the game and you're picking decks. You can either just pick one deck that you feel like you're good at or is going to be good to learn and just do that forever. Oh, he killed by a cabin. You just get good at that and that's it, and that's fine, especially if it's good with like squirrels and boar and whatever. Or you can just try different stuff all the time and try to get good at everything. And I don't think either strategy is really like 100% better than the other. They both have their ups and downs, but am I wrong? Felix in the chat, is this just kind of like a standard deck for you? Or is this
Chungus,
just...
That's right, Chungus removed toads. Thank you.
Very nice, very nice. What do you think, Tatanka, as someone who has been asked to coach and teach enough lately, would you say better to stick with one deck just completely for a while, or better to change it up for fun and get an experience?
If you want to learn the game at a fundamental level, the very rudimentally elementary school level, pick one deck. It doesn't even have to be 6 units. You can pick 4 units. You can pick Squirrel, Cam, Falcon, Boar, and that's your deck. The last 2 are irrelevant. You don't need to complicate things when you're learning such basic things as farming up, or not floating food, or scouting. You don't even need to pay attention to what your opponent is doing at the very start of learning. You can take it piece by piece.
I like that. I like that. So even more than just one deck or random every time or whatever, you're saying just stick with like 3 or 4 units or 5, and then whatever else, just don't even bother. So don't actually even use all 6 deck slots necessarily.
Yeah, just pick the easy units where you don't have to micro in fights.
Yeah.
So you can be sure that the reason why you lost is not because of micro, but because of the size of your army. Because in this game, size matters.
Okay. All right. Now, I do want to say, back to this game here real quick, Felix with a very good hold with the first push there, with an MG and a mine and a couple of squirrels holding. But this second push from Chungus, somehow he was able to push through the second time, kill a couple of pigs, and I'm liking this for Chungus a lot.
He has 2 more squirrel warrens in production, and he's gonna get on this.
Yeah.
Line.
I can't
Picking up
believe it, because
reinforcements.
Felix did hold really well to begin with, but did he just, like, get too greedy or something?
Yeah, he got too greedy. Chungus is still on one base. Felix got an expansion and a farm. And, yeah, that squirrel difference.
That's gonna even it out.
That's right. So we've got about the most hype thing you can get in a best
For
three
that
winners
first
match.
For that first engage, I don't think he should have sold that turret mid-fight.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, because
he only got 13 food back, plus the turret would have been in the fight, shooting. 5
Yeah.
DPS is nothing to scoff at.
Well, it was already mostly dead at the time, and it wasn't worthless. That's the thing, is it was tanking squirrel shots, giving Felix's inferior squirrel numbers an advantage as far as volleys go. So even though the turret was being shot at as it was building, it was still worth it to hold.
Yeah,
right?
it was tanking, yes, but I still think it shouldn't have been sold.
Yeah,
because-
I'll buy that. It had just finished and it was about to get a shot off, and
Yeah.
All right, let me catch up with the chat real quick here. We're going to game 3 in a best of 3. That's as hype as it gets, folks, and it's a winner's match. So the loser's not out, but the loser has to fight another fight, and the winner gets to go on to the playoffs.
I love that, Jessica. Greed being one of the 7 sins. That actually makes me want to make a 7 deadly sins of Tupentale.
Oh yes, that would be amazing.
That would be so good. Like, don't float food.
Don't float food.
Don't greed.
Don't float food is gluttony.
Oh yes,
all right.
I love that.
Protocam
Anyways.
here
Also-
popping in as well. He says start the game by learning just lizards and moles. Yeah, don't listen to Protocam. Don't listen
don't
to
do that.
I will say, what's it called? Someone brought a subject in the chat earlier. Worst tier 3 unit. What do you think?
It's
I
between
don't think there is any.
It's between Owl and
it's
Badger,
hard.
but they're all good.
Badger is definitely not the worst tier 3.
It's
I'm just
definitely
going
not.
off of what Deltheus' chat was saying earlier, because it's not Boar and it's not Wolf.
Well, I
guess
wasn't
maybe
in Delphius'
Fox.
chat, and I can tell you it's not Badger.
Yeah, I can
it might
agree.
be Owl.
It's definitely not Badger.
Maybe it's Owl.
Could be Owl.
Owl's the
Yeah,
only one that, like, you need 2 of them to even get started.
Yeah. Single owl is like very specific.
I would have said Fox if you asked me a month ago, but I've seen enough of it now, especially in combo with other things like Wolf or Boar or something, that it can't be that bad.
No,
Fox is still very
I do want to say this also depends a lot on if you're beginner, intermediate, or premier. Because
Oh,
if you're in
absolutely.
beginner, Fox is the worst tier 3 by
Oh,
far.
100%.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
it's very
Oh,
hard
yeah.
to use well, and it's situational, and it's counterable, and yeah, I would say for lower level, definitely Boar top, Fox bottom, Badger pretty
And,
close to the bottom because it's so easy to throw away.
But it's also difficult
They
to
also,
like focus
don't
down.
really focus it down.
That's true, yeah. The counter micro is just as hard as the micro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me get one more question here in the chat we had. What is the best farming strategy? That
Oh,
is a
that's
fucking
gonna take a
fantastic
fucking-
question.
it's gonna take an hour to go through, but no.
Let me sum
the-
up
the
as best as I
basics
can,
are-
and then I'll have you two add on if you
Alright.
need to. Sum up. At the beginning of the game, just go 8 farms and scout, please. If you scout them and they're doing anything else, then it becomes complicated and you have to figure out how to like react. But if they're not rushing you, just go up to 8 farms. Done.
Yep.
Second step, farm more than you think you need to, as long as you're safe to a counterattack. I would say, since defender's advantage is strong right now, but that's more like a little bit later on, like intermediate level advice. So to start with, just get all of the farms and then go from there. Studios, would you add to that anything?
Yeah, no, I can't really say much else. Like, you're just gonna have to get the feel of expanding and teching as time goes on. And yeah, other than that, early game, yeah, just go 8 farms, unless if you see aggression.
Yeah, I suppose you could learn a safety warren build where you go like 6 or 7 farms into a single safety warren and then supply block it by continuing to buy farms right away. That way you have something in case of a rush. That's something you could do, but you don't need to. Tatanka, would you finish that statement with anything else?
Yeah. If you want to be a macro player, such as myself, you need to be the one scouting. It's your responsibility to keep track of any shenanigans your opponent is doing, because your goal is to not have anything weird or wacky or unexpected happen during the game. Your plan is to know exactly what's going on at all times, and knowing more or less for certain that you will win because you have more eco and more stuff and more tech. You want to be the one reacting, but in a defensive way. Because people who want to be aggressive are gonna make big swings that you have to respond to, that you have to react to.
Yeah, be ready for him. All right, let's get back on Chapik here. Thank you guys for that. Preacher handing over the role of Preacher over to us. Thank you, Preacher.
I will say for the like learning a deck thing, yeah, just playing even just like what I originally did was like when I started actually like getting better. The way I started improving was I just played one deck relentlessly for like a week.
Yeah.
And I just played and played and played and played.
I like the way that Tatanka put it, where you don't need to use all 6 slots. Like,
yeah,
just pick like Squirrel and one other tier 1, not Pigeon, and then like Cams and maybe Boar or something, and then just the other units in your deck can be just for fun, like whatever you feel like spicing up for the moment, or just don't even use them at all. Just pick literally random and don't mess with them, and then stick with your 3 or 4 core units, and you'll be good from there.
I think what I ended up doing with that is I ended up keeping 5 and just replacing the tier 3.
Sure, yeah, and that's not terrible either. All right, going into game 3.
A bit of a...
Go ahead.
Yeah, one more thing.
Yeah.
Is that if you want to, like, analyze games or look at replays or whatever, or try to, just in the game itself, learn what works and doesn't work, don't go by single games. Don't, like, if something doesn't work for a game, or if you try something and it doesn't work out, don't just assume that it in itself doesn't work.
That's true. There's too many factors to make a call off of one situation, right? All right.
Yeah, any strat can win or lose. It's just the consistency at which it happens.
Sure, yeah. All right, getting into game 3 here for Bigchungus versus Felix. Took a small intermission for some chat interaction, which I don't get a lot of chat interaction all the time on this stream. I mean, this much, so I'm spoiled now. I'm happy. Felix up here in the top took game 1, lost game 2, and Chungus swinging back, fighting back. Now he's bringing out Squizzard.
Ooh.
Squizzard Skunk. The way I see it here, we've got Squizzard Skunk as like a fighting force, and then we've got like Ferret Balloon Turret as a kind of siege if he wants as well. There's other ways of thinking of it, but that's what I'm seeing. And Felix on this side with the Squirrel Turret early on into like Boar Falcon Pigeon kind of thing, and then MGs just to greet up. So I'm hoping to see a board timing out of Felix here, especially with this pocket base. My God.
To be honest, funnily enough, skunks are also, because of that 6 range, they're also pretty alright at sieging themselves, as long as they can get some like units to shoot at.
Yeah, if there's squishy targets. Yeah, for sure. Skunks have the range to poke and be irritating more than they used to, for sure.
This is like double siege.
I like it. It's spicy. And you can't go wrong with Squizzard. It gives you so much flexibility, and there's so much micro to learn that it's hard to get good at first, but it's worth it. Boy, is it worth it. Now, having said that, I like, for the style that Felix could pull here, I like that he's got this pocket base. I'm not going to say the map is just straight up better for Felix, but for a 2-base board timing, he's got this made. So,
I will say, overall, in terms of bases, the map is definitely better for Chungus. In terms of just pure mills, it's definitely better.
Right.
Expos on the left.
Now, I love the way that Chungus is responding here to the MGs. Felix is just grabbing a couple MGs, one for each entrance, and farming up, or at least he was going to expand up and whatever. But Chungus's response is, you know what, I don't need that many squirrels yet. Let me grab a base of my own and let me get some ferrets and start knocking on your front door.
Yeah. I don't think Felix expects the ferrets right now, which is going to be pretty dangerous as time passes.
Yeah, I think Felix is giving a little bit too much credence to this strange little back door. Like, it's not going to be any kind of surprise attack or anything. I think maybe he's being a little too fancy. Just stay at home. Until the ferrets get there, just stay at home, get as many farms as you can, get some squirrel warrens up, and then when the
This is also not a great attack either.
well, and yeah, he's getting cut off here. This is good for Chungus for sure. Now he's got the ferrets, and Felix
Superior
is.
skull count.
Oh yeah,
Attacking
these
with,
ferrets
like,
are gonna have a
multiple
field day.
MGs.
Oh, if he doesn't die. Oh, he died.
Oh, he made
Ooh.
it.
But he didn't rally in.
He didn't rally in, which is good. And
Yeah,
And
he's
he's gonna
okay.
clean up these
That's gonna
squirrels.
keep him nicely. Ooh.
Sometimes
Yeah,
the
the
Decent
Bigchungus dying could have baited Felix into attacking into a larger number of squirrels.
sometimes the best micro is no micro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no, it's
anti-micro is very much real in this game.
yes,
Like,
for
that's
sure.
not even a joke.
Yeah. And now with the reinforcements trickling in, if Felix tries to target the ferrets are just going to end up being good tanks. So I think Chungus is already in a very strong position, even without this amazing eco here. So
It's such a good spot for him. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He's trying to get some of his own, but they're supply blocks because of all these squirrels dying.
yeah, Felix, I think, just losing it for a second there in the early game, and Chungus is on top of him already.
I'm loving this aggression from Chungus. Oh my goodness.
Somehow, Chungus hasn't lost a pig yet, but he's lost, like, so many warrens, and he has no extra eco. And Chungus is in his face with ferrets, which are so much of an anti-comeback unit.
Very much
Oh, yeah.
so.
Like, you can't just greed up against ferrets.
Oh.
You have to just face the
Four
music.
are dead. Game over. It doesn't even matter if that Chungus' commander is dead.
Yeah, every like ferret-based deck to me is kind of the Spirit Breaker. I actually had that deck. I don't remember exactly what it
Soul
was.
Crusher, that's for sure.
Yeah, Spirit Breaker, Soul Crusher, all that.
Yes, every
Because
variant.
ferrets, they feel so oppressive.
And
Yeah.
then Tatanka just pulls out the ferret or fox.
All right, and with a brutal slit to the jugular there, Chungus reverse sweeps, and he has made it to the
Yeah.
playoffs. Felix has one more match to play here, the final match against the winner of the losers match, which is
Lupus versus Centurion.
all right.
which,
Whoever wins Lupus versus Centurion will be going up against Felix. If it's Lupus, then you've got yourself a rematch, and may the best player win.